my name is Mitchell, and I've got a really cool product to share with you guys today. Now, along with doing stuff here on YouTube, I also teach public speaking online. A big part of that job is teaching people body language, hand gestures, and how to present ideas and things that are kind of crucial for teaching in the art of public speaking. Now for that, I normally use my MacBook Pro's webcam, and I kind of find it limiting because oftentimes I need to move around where I am working, and this is where something like the Ozbot Teeny SE comes in. Now, Ozbot reached out to me for a sponsored video, and I thought this would be a natural fit since a portion of my income does rely on my webcam setup. Now, to clarify, this isn't a sponsored review. It's just a sponsored unboxing and overview and sharing some of my initial experiences. So let's dive in and take a look at this camera and see if it lives up to the hype. Let's unbox the Ozbot Teeny SE. Inside the box, it's pretty bare bones. You'll find the camera itself, which is surprisingly compact, and it has a 1/4-20 tripod socket built on the bottom and a built-in monitor mount, making it really versatile for different types of setups or even using it on a tripod. You also get a USB-C to USB-C cable that's nice and long, and a USB-C to USB-A converter, which is great for compatibility across different devices. Now, taking the camera out of the box, the first thing you're gonna notice is the build quality because it does feel pretty well constructed for a budget 2-axis pan tilt zoom webcam camera. Now, this thing comes equipped with a 1/2 inch stacked CMOS sensor and an impressive f1.8 aperture. A stacked sensor just means that it allows the sensor to read out faster, allowing for things like HDR. Now, for those that don't know, an f1.8 aperture is a really large and fast opening, allowing it to gather a lot of light even in darker conditions, similar to something that you'd find on a higher end camera or a prime lens. And this is on a webcam coming in at right around $100. Now, let's talk a little bit about the specs because they are seriously impressive given the price point. First off, the Ozbot Teeny SE offers a 78-degree field of view, and it can pan 140 degrees up and down and tilt from 30 degrees to -70 degrees. And while it doesn't do a full 360 rotation, it's more than enough for online meetings, live streaming, or in my case, teaching. Now, frame rates. It films at 1080p at up to 100 frames per second and 720p at up to 120 frames per second, which is fantastic for smooth, high quality video. The software also gives you full manual control over the ISO, white balance, and shutter speed, just like a normal camera would. This level of control is a game changer for creators who want to fine-tune their image quality or possibly use a camera like this as a second angle for a talking head piece like this. But enough talking about the camera, let's go ahead, show you guys the software, and show you guys the actual image coming out of this device. So now you guys are seeing me on the Ozbot Mini SE. I'm using my lav mic directly into the computer, but this does have dual directional mics built into the camera. I just have a really echoey place right now, so I wanted to go ahead and give you guys the crispiest audio possible. I'm also gonna go ahead and overlay the software on the left side of the screen so you guys can see the software and everything that I'm doing. Okay, now let's talk about this software a little bit because that's where a lot of the magic really happens. I'm running this on my MacBook Pro M1 Max, and it's been absolutely flawless. Now, in the tracking, you will see a couple different options when it comes to tracking, and this is all done through their AI tracking hardware in the Ozbot Center. First off, we have kind of just our standard tracking, which will reposition itself if I move, and this is so sticky. Really, really sticky, guys. Like even when I get out of frame, this thing is super sticky. The next one is that it's going to have a motion tracking, and this is a little bit more dynamic in how it moves around, follows you, etc. Really, really great if you are like doing a live stream or something like that. In fact, I might actually be using this at one of my live streaming jobs here that I have. Next is we have our upper body. So this is really just gonna focus the camera and keep it on our upper body. I have like so many use cases for this, but this is again gonna frame you up in the upper body. Next is going to be a close-up, and the close-up is really just gonna kind of keep it dialed in on your face and stuff like that. Really kind of a 3 or a 2/3 shot where it's kind of only the top third of your body that keeps in frame. Next up, we're gonna have lower body. Let's say you're doing something for like a fashion channel and you wanna have a live stream. You guys can see how dirty my studio is right now. Next up would be headless. Again, I totally have a ton of different use cases of when you might wanna use a headless setup, especially if you're live streaming selling clothes, let's say. But we're just gonna go ahead and keep it right now on the upper body. For the AI mode, okay, you're gonna have hand tracking, and this, again, this is, I could totally see use cases for this. And you guys see how kind of sticky and flawless this is. It's also worth noting, here, I'll take a picture of this. When you change some of these modes on the camera, there's a little indicator light that will change color. So I just saw it went to purple, and when you get this, there's a user guide so that you see it's tracking my hands right now. You can also set it to group tracking as well, and you can choose left or right hand. I mean, this is absolutely crazy how good and how sticky this is. But we're just gonna keep this on to upper body. Next, you might have a couple of different presets. Let's say you're a live streamer or something like that. But you're gonna have presets that allow you to switch to different like modes and stuff like that. Next up, and I'm gonna show you guys the hand tracking and stuff like that in a second, but next up we have a variety of different recording features like HDR. I can turn that off and you'll probably see the image get a little bit worse with how bright this is. Let me go ahead and turn that HDR back on so you recover a little bit of this. We have an auto exposure mode, and you can choose whether or not it's going to expose for the face or the entire image. You have exposure compensation. You can also go to fully manual and just do a full-on manual adjustment for what your exposure is going to look like, which is crazy. Let's turn this back to auto. And by the way, guys, I am doing all of this while I'm recording. So if you are live streaming, you don't have to worry about it cutting out or any of this stuff skipping a beat. It's gonna work flawlessly for you no matter what. You can change white balance, temperature, right? If you wanna go ahead and have it set, I can set this to what my aperture lights are, which is 5,500 Kelvin. You can also go ahead and change things like saturation, contrast, etc. So you have full control over this camera. It's honestly, it's pretty crazy how good this is. Next, you have a bunch of different auto sleep modes, and you have options to have the camera turn off, face away, etc. Turn the mic off when it's in sleep mode if you're worried about security, things like that, or you can just unplug it, right? So I really want to show you guys now some of these different AI hand control modes, because again, I think this is something super useful. Like I think I'm going to end up using this product for some of my other jobs. So first up, we're going to go ahead and our first mode is this, to lock it. And as you guys can see now, tracking is turned off. So if you want to turn off tracking, do that. Camera flashes, boom, right? Next up, this is just gonna go ahead and zoom in, right? But let's say you wanna do a dynamic zoom, right? Or you want to have a little bit of control over how much zoom you're gonna have. That's closer, that's farther, that's even further out, and that's as wide as we can go. So a ton of really, really cool options, and you can even do this stuff while moving back and forth. You guys can see, right? It's I mean, it's pretty infallible. And the really cool thing about this is that because a lot of these features are through the software can be updated and they can bring new iterations out all the time, make this camera even better, make the tracking of it even stickier. And again, to think that all of this is coming in at right around the $100 price point is absolutely mind-blowing. And if you guys want to pick this up, I'll leave links to where you guys can do so in the description down below. And thank you to Ozbot for sponsoring today's video. Peace.